going into the 2020 season, it's obviously been a very, very messy year. We missed a bunch of races, and there are now 8 confirmed races right now moving forward. There are going to be 2 in Austria about a week apart. Going to have 1 in Hungary. Is it Hungary or Hungary? I've always said Hungary. I'm not, we Americans don't talk a lot about I'll be totally honest, right? I don't talk a lot about Hungary. I've never said that word out loud very much. There are going to be 2 races at Silverstone in the UK, then Spain, then Belgium, then Monza at the beginning of September. And there are no fans as of yet. They might later, like around, maybe Monza, they allow racers, and the beginning of September, they allow people to come to race. I'm not hopeful for that. Right now, it's just essential personnel. But in these 8 upcoming events, these are the storylines I'm excited to watch. I got 5 of them. So number 1, to me, the drama at Ferrari really, really grabs my attention. Ferrari is very clearly moving to build around Charles Leclerc. And, Sebastian Vettel is leaving after this year. Sebastian Vettel is a veteran, long-time, kind of a standard in racing where he's won a bunch. He's been a champion before. He won with Red Bull. And the question is, where's Seb going to go? And I got to say, I love Seb. If you've never seen Sebastian Vettel's appearance on Top Gear, you're missing out. Watching him interact with Jeremy Clarkson is just so much fun. I love it. And the question I have is that now that it's out there, Seb is leaving at the end of 2020. We don't know where he's going to go. And how is Ferrari going to be impacted, not after he leaves, but literally now with the drama ensuing of, okay, they still got to work together. They got to get together for 8 more races and make it work and make it happen. And I would believe there's going to be inter-team fighting. I mean, remember, if you go watch the Senna document, you see a lot of stuff in racing where there are rivalries between races. We've watched the 2 Mercedes racers run into each other before. And Seb doesn't need to care what Ferrari thinks of him anymore. He doesn't really have to answer to them because I got 8 races and I'm done. And I know I'm a good enough racer that someone's going to pick me up. You would think. I would think someone's going to take him once the year is over. Now, the question is he going to be a 1 or a 2? I don't know. And will him being a 1 mean going to a worse team than him being a 2? Also, don't know. But somebody's going to hire Sebastian Vettel after this year. So how is the mess going to unfold with Ferrari this year, knowing that they're really moving towards Charles Leclerc? They have Sebastian Vettel on a ticking time bomb who's going to leave any time, at the end of the year, and they still got to work with him a little bit. I'm not impressed with the structure of the team in general. It feels like Ferrari, everyone talks about the past. And it feels like Ferrari relies a little too much on the name, a little too much on the history they have. Now, they have great, rich, tremendous history that got a lot of pride in Italy. But I'm not that impressed with Ferrari, to be totally honest. I know that's a lot of people are going to say, you're a stupid American. What do you know? Fine. But the way they've moved from Seb to Charles Leclerc and the way it's working out, it feels disorganized and kind of messy to me. And I'm excited to watch it unfold this year in Formula One. Now, number 2 to me, I'm actually going to surprise a lot of people. To me, what excites me is actually the battle for 4th. The best of the rest. To me, it's likely going to come down to Renault or McLaren. I love both teams' lineups. I love Renault has Daniel Ricciardo. They have Esteban Ocon. Esteban Ocon's an underrated driver, in my opinion. He works hard. He got really screwed over by Racing Point. And then McLaren also has 2 solid drivers with Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. And so both, in my opinion, Renault and McLaren, stand to benefit the most from having a budget cap, where there are very clearly tier 2 teams behind the top 3, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. And they're going to benefit a lot from the budget cap because it might allow them to compete at a higher level and have a better chance to compete with teams like Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. So I'm excited to watch what happens with the best of the rest. Who gets 4th place this year? It appears like the top 3 is going to be locked: Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes. And then I'd be surprised if really the 4 and 5 weren't Renault and or McLaren. I don't know which order yet. That's the fun part to me, to find out who becomes the 4th place team in Formula One. Now, number 3, I am so excited to watch Max Verstappen. He's just a pure talent. The question for me is, can Max Verstappen and Red Bull challenge Mercedes? I love Red Bull. I'm a fan of them. Not the drink, just the company. The way, their stunts are fun. Their videos are great. I love Christian Horner, the team principal with Red Bull. And I just love watching Max race. I can't stop thinking about, oh my gosh, was it 2016 in Brazil? Was that the year where the race where Max Verstappen just, in the rain, the battle in the rain, just came and made up a bunch of places? I have that ingrained in my mind, and I just can't wait to watch it. I think Max Verstappen is in football, we'd compare him to Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes, a guy who's got just rare talent. And I'm curious how far he can take it this year. For me, I think of another guy to compare him to is Giannis in the NBA playing for the Milwaukee Bucks, where, I'm making a bunch of American sports references, where Giannis was so good, so talented in the NBA. But the question was, can he elevate his team to a championship? It's still a fun question to ask in the NBA. And it feels like Max Verstappen is in a very similar place where he's not expected to win the championship, but is he good enough, and is he good enough to elevate his team enough to compete with a team like Mercedes? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Mercedes is going to walk away the champion and it's rinse and repeat the same way last year. But can Verstappen challenge them enough to either get second place or, how much can he challenge Mercedes, I guess is my question. And that's what I can't wait to watch this year in Formula One. And number 4, I want to watch Mercedes. There's a lot here. The rule changes are coming. The question is this going to be one of the last couple of years where, will this be one of the final years where Mercedes dominates, or at least dominates by so much the way they have recently? And another question is Lewis Hamilton going to walk away soon? He's very politically active. He's 35 years old. He's won a ton. He's very wealthy. And could he leave while he's on top? Could he say, I got other things I care about more? I don't know. Whether it's this year, next year, a couple years from now. Some people have raced till they're in their 50s. But I don't know. Is Lewis Hamilton thinking about retirement anytime soon? And then, I believe Mercedes is going to win again. But the other question I have is, can anyone challenge them? Honestly. Can Red Bull, can Max Verstappen challenge Mercedes? And number 5, my final storyline. I know there's a lot going on in F1. To me, the other storyline to me that I want to follow, it's really a shame he's in a Williams car. I like George Russell a lot. George Russell is a young racer. He's really good. I don't know that he's good at social media, but the people working with him are good at social media, where he gets featured in a lot of really good, really interesting stuff. And he's a talented driver. He's young. He's interesting. And again, it's sad that he's racing for Rocket Williams, but I am curious, how well can he do in spite of his car? What can George Russell do in spite of the car he's driving? That's the 5th thing I want to watch. I know there's other stuff. I'm actually curious. What storylines did I leave out? I guess another one is interesting. That's interesting. Although I mentioned it already, is Renault with I said the best of the rest. What storylines did I leave out? Daniel Ricciardo, Esteban Ocon. What did I leave out that you want to hear me talk about, that even if you don't want to hear me talk about it, what do you care about? Because I'm new to this. I'm a fan. I'm not an expert of Formula One. I like it. I'm very into it, but I'm learning. And if you have stuff you want to talk about, please reach out to me on social media. I want to hear what you think. I want to hear what you're excited to watch this year in Formula One. And I want to have a dialogue, because I just am. I'm the only guy I know that cares about this at all. I'm in America, and my friends love football. They love racing. They love other stuff. No one I know likes Formula One. No one I know likes racing. And so, I just would love to talk to anybody out there who wants to talk about this, because I just am so passionate about it.